For the past 12 years, the FBI Youth Academy has afforded students a unique opportunity to engage with FBI agents and various members of law enforcement. Throughout 1 week, students participate in a wide array of programs that not only prove to be informative, but also offer real-world applications. Programs range from classroom lectures given by specialists to hands-on activities meant to foster teamwork and critical thinking among students.
Here's the part that went by that people don't understand. The FBI did investigate, but the FBI cannot act unless it's probable cause.
So what led to the development of this initiative was that Citizens Academy program. I recall very vividly one of the individuals that graduated from that first program, Miss Rita Scott, had approached me after graduation and said, "Hey, is there an opportunity for us to recreate or replicate the Citizens Academy program for high school students?" It's an excellent way of engaging youth and having that conversations about law enforcement and what we do. And so through that initial conversation with Rita Scott, we continued to talk about what we envisioned for this Summer Youth Academy, and we just developed it. We made it, we had it as a scaled down version of our Citizens Academy program. We wanted it to be student friendly. We wanted it to have activities where there was some interaction, where there was some hands-on things for the kids to enjoy. And so that's really how it all came about.
The Citizens Academy Board of Directors picked the Summer Youth Program as one of their main projects. They do a lot of work, good work within the community, from a reading program to various charities events every year. But this was one of their top programs where we wanted to reach out to young students in high school to introduce them to the law enforcement community and also to introduce them to the FBI, to explain to them what we do, and also to perhaps encourage them to pursue a law enforcement career, if not with the FBI, maybe another federal agency or state or local agency as well.
What are we trying to do is if you look from a teaching perspective, the Youth Academy is the center. And then if you web it out to what the values are, use the acronyms of the FBI, okay? Federal Bureau of Investigation, fidelity, bravery, and integrity. Fidelity means what? Fidelity means that people are now going to have responsibility and continue to look at things and be part of things. Bravery, being able to stand up, and integrity is the value part. And what are those values? American citizenship. Need to be there for your country. Service to your nation. Be proud of what we do as a country. And be strong.
The participants of the program are high school juniors and seniors who have undergone a rigorous selection process. Students have to be in good academic standing and be seen as leaders inside and out of the classroom.
So, some of the qualities that we look for in prospective student candidates for this program, we want them to be honest. We want them to be very candid with their comments and with their concerns. We want them to be overall, all around good students. Students that feel that they have purpose in life. We want kids that are passionate about whatever it is that they're passionate about. We look for those type of students. We look for those students that are able to connect with other students that may not necessarily look like them or think like them, that have different perspectives, and yet they're willing to come together for a common goal.
First of all, the students are phenomenal. The selection process is such that we have those students go through a process where they have to prepare an essay, and those essays are reviewed, and those students are picked to participate in the program. So that's the first thing. The program wouldn't be successful without the great students that we have. They come very enthused, they come with curious minds, they ask excellent questions, and so they help make the program.
For some students, the program is an opportunity to learn a little more about law enforcement.
What intrigued me about the program initially was the amount of opportunities that you can see. The FBI just doesn't do in law enforcement, they do a multitude of things, such as at home and abroad, that you can definitely get involved in, which is really awesome.
Others see it as a stepping stone for their careers.
I've always been interested in law enforcement. I currently do volunteer hours as an investigator's assistant, in which I go undercover and I assist cops in selling, like having people sell me cigarettes or alcohol and arresting them if they do. So yeah, I applied for the FBI Academy, Youth Academy, to just elaborate more on my future and have a good picture of what it's going to be.
What intrigued me about this program is that it would provide me more experience into the FBI, what the FBI does, as well as getting experience with local law enforcement. I would be able to network with local FBI, local agencies, and it also intrigued me that we're going to be experiencing defensive driving and disarming people, as well as learning forensics and things like that.
One of the things that really intrigued me about the program was just the simple fact that it was already like a stepstone on the path that I was already looking for. FBI has been what I'm setting my sights on, has been for a few years now. Actually, my grandmother tried to join but failed the physical. But then I watched the video, I looked into the information a little more, and I liked the atmosphere and just the content of the program.
But to a few, it is a decision that is rooted in current events like the Parkland shooting.
The Parkland shooting has influenced me to take this because I think it's ridiculous that the shootings and massacres keep happening. I feel like it should have stopped when Sandy Hook happened, and the government should have realized that little kids are dying. Like, who's gonna be next?
The Youth Academy features speakers with different specialties and diverse career experiences that allow students to see elements of law enforcement that cannot be found in a traditional classroom. These speakers clear any false assumptions that the media may have created about law enforcement through inclusion and exclusion in television, film, or reporting. Many of the students become both enthralled and deeply impacted by the anecdotes that are shared.
I tell you what, so some of the speakers that we have come in are our professionals, our law enforcement professionals from not only the FBI but other law enforcement agencies, and they bring a wide range of experiences and perspectives that we want the kids to be exposed to. In addition to that, we have some of the most talented professionals within our Citizens Academy alumni group, and I'll give you an example of that. We have teachers that have gone through the Citizens Academy. We have professors, we have psychologists, we have bankers, we have business owners, we have media companies that have gone through the Citizens Academy, and because of those uniqueness, because of those experiences, and because of those professions, we're able to provide a better product for our targeted population, which is our youth.
I think the speakers bring them, these are folks who out in the field, they're doing the work, and so they bring them real-time experience, and they can convey to the students their actual work of what they're doing. And so I think the students get a lot of that because they get to ask questions, they also get to participate, and I think it's very helpful. It's very interactive.
My favorite speaker so far was probably Dr. Gregory Salters, because he was able to keep all of us engaged. He got the quiet people to talk, he got everyone involved, and he gave some really good information involving his police department and the differences between bias, discrimination, racism.
One that was really strong and touching was when Special Agent Alexis came in talking about the child pornography and then also the molesters. Like, it makes you think about it. It's like we hear it all the time saying, oh yeah, a kid on the news got molested, she was 14 years old by this 35-year-old man. You don't think twice about it. It's like, oh yeah, another one of these. But now that after going in depth about it, like the whole figure about it, it really makes you think about and want to change that entire perspective.
Oftentimes, students that we interact with or students that interact with law enforcement, sometimes it's not positive interactions. And so we, the FBI, we wanted to make sure that we were doing all that we could to have those positive interactions and to show young people that people that are working in law enforcement professions, it's a noble career, and it's one that really is there to help people have better lives.
The camps that had, or the courses that had the most impact on me included when we spoke to Special Agent Enriquez, when he talked about the polygraphs and how he talked about hostage situations and how he was able to, he had to like speak to so many people and he had to like crack the case like with so many different, by speaking to so many different people, and how he gets to travel and do all these fun things. And then also speaking to Dr. Salters and how he was able to give us like sort of like a life lesson on like being like presenting yourself in a way that will make you likable by others.
I came from the presentations, many different things came in mind, like the polygraph examiner. Like I never thought that he'd help so much in a case. You never think that just by looking at a polygraph, you come up with other things that may help in a case or to find someone. Whatever the situation is like, you never know.
Throughout the week, students engage in a wide assortment of activities. Activities include basic defensive tactics, fingerprinting, surveillance training, and emergency first aid.
Well, the activity that was the most like exciting and like fun for me I'd say is the driving range and the skid cars, because like we were going like at really high speeds and like really tight turns, and like I felt like I could still be comfortable in the car because the drivers are both really experienced, and it was just like a lot of fun. It was like not something I would have like expected from like an educational like academy in a good way.
These activities allow for participants to understand how diverse law enforcement is, while engaging with different courses in a tactile manner.
We dealt with sex crimes. We dealt with international terrorism. And then from there, we dealt with going on to the driving range and protection of what police officers have to go through. What do these three things have with each other? Very simple. Number one, each and every one of them have a different component to law enforcement, whether it's on local level or whether it's on national level. I believe that certain students got emotionally impact on the Captain Phillips case because they saw that the FBI wasn't portrayed within the movie, but they were still involved. They were still used by the Navy SEALs, they were still used by NCSI because of their expertise. Wow, what a different component about the Bureau. The Bureau's expertise is being asked to be used by others. Two, dealing with sex crimes. I believe that the speaker had spoken to them in a level that made them understand that they're not safe. Not to scare them, but to be aware and to understand that they are potential victims, but also the potential individuals that might save somebody from doing something wrong. So each of it was impactful in its own way.
As we have continued to develop this program and as it has continued to evolve, we know that one of those core pieces that we wanted to make sure that we kept in this program is those career opportunities, those viable options for them once they've completed high school and once they've gone off to college. You know, we hope that they are going to, through this experience, they're going to look back and say, you know what, this presented a perfect opportunity for me to think about going into a career in law enforcement.
This program has definitely opened my eyes to different opportunities than law enforcement and being on the field and whatnot, definitely with international relations and affairs and other topics as well.
Once I came here and I started talking to the special agents and realized what they did for a living and like how well they were able to help people, it made me really interested and like 100% dedicated to what I wanted to do.
It's expanded all the varieties of divisions that the FBI does have and that I would be interested in. Like yesterday we were talking about hostage negotiations, which is something that it did sound really cool and something that I would like to look into, because I was previously into serial murder and perhaps terrorism, which were the main divisions that I was interested in, but the FBI Youth Academy has expanded my knowledge of what the FBI does and all the different divisions that I could go into.
the reason why this program is possible, it's because of partnerships, and that's so vital to what we do as an organization, is ensuring that we have those key partnerships with our with stakeholders.
Thanks to its partnership with Miami-Dade College, the FBI Youth Academy is able to create a more authentic experience for all students.
And so we are so grateful that Miami-Dade College, the North Campus here in South Florida, has been one of our longest standing partners. This upcoming year celebrates 12 years that we've been here at Miami-Dade College. Certainly we couldn't do it without them.
Miami-Dade College is the second largest institute for higher education in the United States. The program takes place at the college's North Campus, where its School of Justice is located. Many of South Florida's police officers and firefighters are trained at this location.
From a Miami-Dade College perspective, I can definitely attest to our School of Justice provides tremendous support from faculty to staff to actual facilities, instructors. School of Justice has been a tremendous partner and resource asset in order to make this program worthwhile. So I can't say enough about what they've done and what they continue to do to make this program first class.
The other component to this is our Citizens Academy Alumni Association. They have been the backbone of this program. Without their support, without their passion, without their belief in the mission of the FBI, this program would not be available. And we really are grateful for those partnerships. And it's not only those two stakeholders, but we have other members from other law enforcement agencies that participate in this Summer Youth Academy. So we want kids to see when they're coming through this program that there are a number of key stakeholders in our community that's supporting these efforts, and so we're so grateful to be a part of that and to have such wonderful folks that are willing to share in this initiative.
We're looking perhaps to take this nationwide, so we're going to perhaps explore the possibility of inviting each of our FBI Citizens Academy offices throughout the field, throughout the country, to perhaps participate and have an opportunity to send a student to this program. So we think it's something we might want to take nationwide.
The week of 2018's Youth Academy culminated in a special trip to the FBI Miami Division's office in Miramar, where the students were met by Special Agent in Charge Robert Lasky. Lasky talked about a wide range of topics, from his beginnings with the Bureau to career advice, while leaving room for questions. He answered every question in a frank and straightforward manner, regardless of the subject matter, keeping them constantly engaged.
So, you know, with some of the things that have been going on in the school systems with the unfortunately, with active shooter type of scenarios and the bullying that goes on in schools, you know, we wanted to make sure that the program that we put forth for these youth, that it touches them right where they're at in the classroom. And so what you will see, what you've been seeing in our summer youth academies for the past couple of years, is we have tried to tackle some of the issues that they are confronted with every day. And so we want them to be more vigilant. We'd like for them to be more aware of what's going on, but not only being more aware of what's going on, but knowing what to do in the event that something does take place. And so our Summer Youth Academy, part of why we do this, part of our mission, is to ensure that we're doing what we can to get information to these young people as to, you know, what they can do to better themselves while they're in school, and to better their classmates around them, and just to be overall good kids in our community.
I believe that the relevancy of the recent events in American history, as well as the Youth Academy, are sort of symbiotic, where they go hand in hand with each other. We now have the students working on a Brave Up program, taking responsibility, learning to see what the signs are, how to keep themselves safe, how to teach others what to look for and what to do.
The recent school shootings, and in light of recent events, I think it's inspired me a little more to go out and be able to help people in criminal justice and law enforcement, because You know, while the FBI and law enforcement in Parkland and had to do with the shooter, they did what they could, but there was more that could have been done sooner and possibly to prevent it. And I just feel like I want to do my part in preventing tragedies and atrocities like that.
The recent school shootings have influenced me because I want to make sure that schools are safe. And by becoming a law enforcement agent, I can make that happen.
The recent school shootings has definitely influenced me to kind of be in law enforcement or in the kind of the FBI, because there's definitely something we can do to prevent these with kind of the social media coverage and internet profiles and whatnot, and the more people that we have focusing on that kind of part of the FBI or world, the higher chances we have of preventing them in the future.